On his first day working at the nursing home, he immediately noticed something strange. The nursing home was full of frail old people, yet strange lewd noises kept coming from their rooms. John curiously peeked through the crack in the door, and saw a white-haired old man wearing a mask. John found it very bizarre. How could such weak old men be so energetic? Not only that, all the elders here were acting oddly. They swam and exercised in the pool. They didn't look like people in their 80s at all. While John was organizing his belongings, a scream suddenly came from the pool. An old man had been injured. John quickly rushed over to disperse the crowd. On his first day at work, he ran into something this strange. John felt deeply uneasy, but all he could do was pray. However, that night the strange events happened again. While John was sleeping, someone suddenly called his name with a miserable cry. John woke up instantly, but he thought it was just a nightmare. Then another scream came from upstairs. John was terrified. Before he could figure out what was going on, he noticed that his door had been opened. John cautiously locked it again, then lay back in bed. Even though the nursing home was creepy, John couldn't quit the job. It turned out that John was a rebellious young man. A few days ago he had been arrested for graffiti. Although his adoptive father was disappointed in him, he still pulled strings to plead with the judge. In the end, the judge said, as long as John worked as a volunteer at a nursing home for a while, he could avoid going to jail. The next night, a masked person quietly slipped into John's room. She carefully lay down beside him. Soon John sensed something strange.
Do you like what you saw yesterday?
Fortunately, it was only a nightmare. Just as John relaxed, he suddenly found the door open again. Could the masked person really have come? The thought made John fully awake. He went to the masked person's room to investigate, but everything looked normal there. John thought he was just overthinking. However, just as he was about to leave, another scream echoed from upstairs. John froze in place. He couldn't hold back his curiosity any longer. John went up the stairs. He pried the door open with a wire, but when he pushed the door open, he was horrified by what he saw. Inside the room there were more than a dozen old people imprisoned. They were restrained in wheelchairs. Their skin was rotting, drool was dripping from their mouths, and even worse, strange fluid was flowing from their eyes. John was deeply shocked. Then an old man in the corner noticed him. John felt that the man looked familiar, but the next second the old man suddenly began shouting wildly. John was scared out of his wits. Luckily, the doctor arrived in time and restrained the old man. John thought he had made a terrible mistake, and that he would be fired today. But strangely, the director only scolded him a little and didn't pursue the matter. After leaving the office, John went outside to sweep the fallen leaves. Then he noticed at a fourth-floor window, an old man had bitten his finger and was drawing strange symbols on the glass, as if trying to tell John something. John recognized him as the one who attacked him the day before, and this old man looked eerily similar to his late brother. John's brother had mysteriously died during college, but strangely his adoptive parents didn't let him attend the funeral. Could this old man on the fourth floor be connected to his brother? To find out the truth, John hid a camera in the flower pot in the hallway. That night he began monitoring everything in the nursing home. Then the old man from the fourth floor appeared on the screen. He seemed to be trying to escape, but soon he noticed the camera. His body was too weak, and he quickly disappeared from view. After some time, John fell asleep. When he woke again, it was midnight. He saw a nurse pushing an old man toward the basement. John felt uneasy. He quickly followed. From inside the basement came the screams of old people. John was about to step forward to check, but was spotted by a guard dog. He ran back to his room at once, but suddenly a woman appeared in front of him. She told John that the nursing home was using the elderly for human experiments, and that her father had lost his life there. After saying that, she turned to leave, but as she opened the door, an old man was standing right outside. Sometime later, John finally woke up. The nurse explained that a patient from the fourth floor had escaped and attacked him, but John, who knew the truth, didn't believe anyone there. While the nurse wasn't looking, he climbed out the window and fled. When he returned to his adoptive parents' home, he found two sisters there. John didn't think much of it. He told his adoptive parents everything about the nursing home. After hearing it, they decided to go to the police. But at that moment, the two girls entered John's room. They said they had found a secret room in the house. John was puzzled. He followed them to the master bedroom upstairs. Through the wardrobe, they found a hidden chamber. Inside was a statue of a goddess called the Goddess of Youth. On the altar were several photo albums. John slowly opened them, but what he saw inside horrified him. The people in the photos were all residents of the nursing home. Even his adoptive parents were among them. But the photos were taken 30 years ago. How could they not have aged at all? On the last page of every album was the same group photo. Only the young person in the wheelchair kept changing. Then one photo made John freeze, because the one in the wheelchair was his brother Luke. The date on the photo was the same year his brother died. John suddenly realized something. Maybe his brother hadn't died at all. Maybe this was part of a massive conspiracy.